Why won't this? Oh, okay, it's finally recording. So, hello. I don't know how to start this, but I'm assuming if you clicked on this video, you know about that AI age verification update that's coming to YouTube tomorrow, I believe. Yeah, I'm in Thailand right now, so the time zones are kind of screwed up, but that aside, if you happen to not know about that update, basically YouTube is using AI to scan your channels and watch histories to determine if you're under the age of 18, and if you are, then they restrict a lot of things. They restrict your ability to watch content on YouTube. You won't be able to watch anything that's deemed too inappropriate for your age, which in some cases can lead to extreme issues, because if a kid wants to watch a video on mental health, that may be flagged as inappropriate and they won't get the help they need. Also, if you're flagged as a minor and are monetized, there's a lot of features that may be taken away, like the ability to gain ad revenue from streams. I believe that's something I heard, and that can be an issue because a lot of streams are for charity. Even if you don't live stream, you'll begin to lose ad revenue because your videos won't be able to get the attention they usually do if they're restricted by YouTube. No one knows how strict YouTube will be with flagging videos that are not for anyone under 18, but there's a chance it could be extreme for animators and content creators, especially independent animators, because their shows include blood or serious topics, and YouTube might not think that's appropriate for kids, even though we hear and see a lot worse at school. And this could be terrible for content creators, and especially those who independently animate shows, because you kind of need money to continue animating, and if you don't get that, a lot of independent shows might be canceled and could honestly just ruin the indie animating community. I know this is the case for a lot of other communities too, and that is a big issue, because if people on YouTube start losing money, start losing everything they worked for, no one's going to want to use the app anymore. This is not even the worst part. If you want to get these old features back, all YouTube wants you to do is submit your really personal information, either your ID, face, or credit card. YouTube wants you to submit that to the AI. I know a lot of you might not think that's a problem, but it really is. AI is great for a lot of things, it really is, but security is not one of them. YouTube should not rely on AI to keep your data safe. See, you're entering your very personal information, your ID, face, or credit card, and one security breach, one data breach, and it's over. Your information is all over the internet for anyone to look at, for anyone to impersonate, for anyone to steal. See, the AI is prone to making more mistakes in this field than humans are, and a lot more dangerous. There are plenty of really experienced hackers all over the internet, and I feel like they could very easily hack into this AI, and information can be spread all over the internet. I was about to say universe, that would not. But we all need to see the issue in this. YouTube is asking for the sensitive information of millions of users across the world, just as an effort to keep kids safe. Parents should be doing that, not the government. And really, every social media is 13 plus, and that's what YouTube should be. I think YouTube is relatively one of the safest social medias, and apparently it's going to be the one that's most restricting towards teenagers. I completely get why people think social media is unsafe, because in some ways it is, but this is making it even more unsafe to anyone using it. Say, my current interest right now is object shows, and I assume they're going to be flagged as childish because they're literally objects with limbs, and people always assume that to be childish when it's kind of not if you watch certain object shows. Anyway, off topic, but I know a bunch of adults on YouTube that also enjoy them, and they're going to be flagged just because they watch them. And they're gonna have to give their identities over to this AI that could potentially breach it to the entire, like, internet. It doesn't matter if you're a teenager, if you're under the age you're supposed to be using social media, or if you're an adult. If you have childish interests or post things for children, you're gonna get flagged, and the only way you can get past that is giving over your ID, handing over your ID. And the thing is, there are going to be a lot of mistakes, because there can be an adult that just, like, has kids and needs to, like, put on kid shows for them, or just they like kid shows themselves, and that's completely fine, and they're gonna be punished for it. But there's people who are genuinely under the age that they're supposed to be using YouTube, watching things, like, more so for adults, like more mature shows, and they're not gonna be flagged. They're gonna be completely fine. This is based off people's interests that they're getting restricted from possibly a site that they spent their entire life on, that they've genuinely worked hard to achieve what they've achieved. So yeah, I hope this was understandable. And yeah, I know a bunch of my friends and a bunch of people I know are going to boycott YouTube and not use it at all in order to try to make an effort to, like, retract this update, because it's genuinely so unfair to individuals who want to live their lives on YouTube. And honestly, just everyone. The government should not be using AI to get people's information from them. This is honestly very scary, because in George Orwell, I think that's how you pronounce it, in his book titled 1984, my bad, it was written in the 1940s, I believe, and it was a dystopian novel talking about, well, this here. I'll just put it on screen. As you can see, it predicted a lot. And it's scary because dystopian novels, like The Hunger Games, Divergent, among other ones, are written, like, in a sense, like, yeah, that would never happen, or, like, really far in the future. This was written as a dystopian novel in the 1940s, and it's become a reality. Which is why, yeah, we need to stop YouTube from this update, because it's just going to keep getting worse from here, and if we don't stop it, then who knows what they're going to do next. Man, really just wanted to spend my time here working on my object show with my friends and releasing it to YouTube. But I guess that's not happening, because literally everything's going to be restricted, and everyone working on, because I know a bunch of people who are working on, like, object shows and, like, animations and, like, shows themselves, and they're not going to be able to release them unless YouTube stops this, or at least they're not going to get, like, the audience they wanted, like, you know what I mean. Well, when this whole thing blows over, hopefully it does, then maybe we can all go back to actually creating what we want to, watching what we want to, without being terrified of AI watching us, watching our watch history, and yeah. Well, thanks for listening to my rant, guys. Stay safe. Bye.